All right, so it is 1:30 in the morning, and I believe I finally made the final major changes and additions to the essay, the hard work essay. Pretty much, no matter what, this is as close to the final as I'm getting. Any revisions at this point is not going to be a new idea or drastic changes. It's just going to be revising, editing, and just cleaning up what I have. So I'm going to read it from start to finish. At this point, it is 917 words. Let's take it from the top. All right. Through trial and circumstances, hard work forges a character defined by virtue and strengthened by perseverance. When asked for the meaning of hard work, many imagine a scene defined by an individual isolated from home, working endless hours, sacrificing each moment of their life to support and provide opportunities for their loved ones. This common understanding of hard work only observes what is shown on the surface. However, there is more to the meaning and value of hard work than what meets the eyes. I came to understand this truth after enduring a trial which challenged not only my physical endurance, but the character which hard work began to establish. In the months leading up to summer of 2024, my grandfather, grandmother, and I began planning renovations for their house to celebrate my grandfather's impending retirement and to spend time together before I began college. Given that my grandfather had taught me valuable handyman skills for 16 years of my life, we were all confident in our ability to transform the house into the home they'd envisioned. In April of 2024, I'm actually going to take that. Sorry. In April of 2024, I received news that would forever change my life and add an unforeseen layer of adversity to the project. My grandfather, one of the pillars of my life, had suddenly passed away. Amid his untimely death, my sights were set on carrying out his final wish, regardless of what challenges may arise. In the days following his funeral, I packed a bag and settled into my grandparents' house to begin the renovations we had planned together. Equipped with the skills my grandfather had taught me, I began smaller tasks around the house to build momentum, replacing electrical sockets, repairing broken pipes, and changing worn drawer handles and cabinet knobs. As the project continued, each task quickly grew beyond simple repairs. The first challenge I faced came when patching worn and damaged shingles on the roof in the middle of the scorching Texas summer. The next 2 days were defined by multiple trips up a ladder, hoisting 50-pound bundles of shingles onto the roof, removing large sections of roofing, and using power tools to install each new batch. As the hours passed, the relentless heat intensified, soaking my clothes with a mix of sweat and grit from the shingles. As the second day came to an end, my body had been pushed to its limit, every muscle aching and pleading for even a single moment of rest. Yet I refused to give up, reminding myself that every ounce of sweat and every body ache meant I was one step closer to honoring my grandfather's final wish. The moment that final shingle was placed, I experienced an indescribable wave of accomplishment. Dishearteningly, that victory was short-lived, as it was quickly overshadowed by the blistering task of replacing the old flooring. With no choice but to move forward, I sluggishly relocated the furniture from the living room and kitchen to tear out the old floorboards. Aside from the squealing of wood being pried from decades of use, the house sat uncomfortably silent. Now my grandfather's heavy footsteps and the familiar ringing of his cell phone games no longer echoed through the house. Soon even the silence itself... Sorry, I don't know why I said that. Soon even the silence of the house was drowned by an endless barrage of vivid flashbacks. As I worked across the living room into the kitchen, each board I removed felt like another piece of the home we'd shared disappearing before me. Once I finally reached the opposite side of the kitchen, I realized there was nothing left beneath my feet that lived through the moments we had created. Fighting back tears, my knees finally gave out, not from the physical labor, but because I couldn't bear the weight of feeling further than my grandfather. I couldn't bear the weight of feeling farther from my grandfather than I had ever been. For the first time since the beginning of the renovations, I stepped away from the project. My body did not need rest. My heart needed time to feel and grieve. For the next couple of hours, I took time to process the emotions that surfaced as the original floorboards vanished. The entire time I considered walking away from the project entirely. I wanted to hire professionals to complete the rest of the job, or wait for my uncles to take over the work instead. I thought to myself, Instead, I thought to myself, abandoning the project meant abandoning the promise I'd made to my grandfather. I gathered myself and inched back to the house, where I picked up my tools to complete the mission I began. Expectantly, my grief remained, but so did my determination to honor my grandfather's final wish and give my grandmother a piece of the future that should have been. With every board I placed from that moment on, I chose to continue because I refused to let adversity interrupt the outcome of a promise made, rooted in the love I had for my grandfather. After deep introspection of moments in my life that molded the person I see today, I often reflect on that event. I realized the greatest lesson I learned had little to do with the renovation itself. Instead, hard work taught me that character is built when circumstances are not in our favor, and adversity challenges us to choose between giving in and moving forward. Its true value lies within the strength hard work gives us to persevere through hardship and obstacles, rather than allowing adversity to define who we will become. That's what I got. I didn't read it completely because there's times where I just switched a few words. I'm just tired right now. That is pretty much what I have. I changed maybe a word or two here and there, but this is what I have. I'm tired, and I feel like this is it's probably the final update before I read the final draft I'm gonna submit. It's not a video format, it's just archiving the progress. But this is to answer the question, what is the value of hard work and what has it taught you? That is the prompt. What is the value of hard work and what has it taught you? This is my way of proving that I was taught that hard work builds character. The value of hard work is that at the end of it, you are left with, I guess, a more refined, strengthened, well-rounded character than you began with. I know this is not the best way to explain it, but like I said, those are the raw ideas, and I'm really tired. So, as best as we're gonna get for now. And I guess tomorrow I'm gonna see about getting this checked out by a few professors and some family members, finalize things, and then submit it. And with that, I can hopefully begin my next scholarship. Hopefully I can get that one done a lot faster, but that is what I have for now. See you on the next update.